Lights, camera, action. Welcome back to Flick Flash. Buckle up for a trip down memory lane with Detroit's street smart cop, Axel Foley, as we revisit the legendary Beverly Hills Cop trilogy before round 4 kicks in. Packed with 80 seconds vibes, explosive action, laugh-out-loud moments, and enough banana peels to slip on for days, this recap will refresh your memory on the wild rides, outrageous villains, and unforgettable one-liners that made these movies classics. So grab your popcorn, crank up the volume, and get ready for a dose of pure Axel awesomeness. Beverly Hills Cop throws us headfirst into a world of clashing cultures. Axel Foley, a street-smart Detroit detective with a penchant for unorthodox methods, disrupts the pristine image of the Beverly Hills Police Department led by the uptight Captain Bogomil. Disobeying orders to investigate his murdered friend Reggie Hammond back in Detroit, Axel arrives undercover, posing as a flashy art dealer. His target, Victor Maitland, a seemingly respectable art collector suspected of harboring a dark secret, a lucrative illegal weapons operation. Along the way, Axel encounters a cast of colorful characters who become entangled in his investigation. Sergeant John Taggart, initially distrustful of Axel's renegade style, Taggart is a by-the-book Beverly Hills cop who prioritizes procedure. However, over time, Axel's tenacity and humor begin to win him over. Detective Billy Rosewood, a young and ambitious officer more concerned with appearances than detective work. Rosewood becomes Axel's reluctant partner, often caught in the crossfire of his chaotic methods. Jeanette Jenny Summers, a sharp-witted art gallery employee, Jenny becomes an invaluable informant for Axel, providing inside information about Maitland's operation and lavish lifestyle. The film thrives on the comedic friction between Axel's unorthodox methods and the meticulous procedures of the BHPD. His street smarts often lead him into hilarious situations, dangling precariously from a chandelier while eavesdropping, or impersonating a musician to infiltrate a high-society nightclub. These sequences are punctuated by Axel's trademark humor, witty one-liners, and cultural observations that highlight the stark contrast between his gritty Detroit background and the opulent world of Beverly Hills. Despite the humor, Axel's determination to find Reggie's killer remains sincere. Through a series of daring undercover operations and close calls, he uncovers a web of corruption at the heart of Maitland's operation. He discovers Maitland is not just an art collector but a ruthless criminal behind a massive cocaine smuggling scheme. The cocaine is cleverly hidden within shipments of bananas, transported through a secret plantation owned by Maitland. As Axel gets closer to the truth, the stakes become higher. He narrowly escapes capture on several occasions, relying on his quick thinking and street smarts to evade Maitland's ruthless goons. As Axel uncovers the secret banana plantation, a tense confrontation unfolds. Axel faces off against Maitland's henchmen in a thrilling shootout, his unorthodox fighting style proving surprisingly effective. In a surprising turn of events, Axel finds an unlikely ally in Taggart. Witnessing Axel's dedication and recognizing the truth behind his accusations, Taggart joins him in the final showdown. Together, they dismantle Maitland's operation and expose the true killer of Reggie, not Maitland himself, but his arrogant and trigger-happy nephew, Zach. With the case solved and Reggie's killer apprehended, Axel's initial friction with the BHPD begins to melt away. Captain Bogomil, initially reluctant to trust Axel, acknowledges his unconventional methods led to success. He grudgingly recognizes Axel's bravery and detective skills, even offering a token of appreciation, a pair of genuine Beverly Hills Police Department handcuffs. Axel leaves Beverly Hills a changed man. He has found justice for his friend, forged an unlikely bond with his colleagues, and earned a reputation as a fearless and resourceful detective. The film ends with Axel returning to Detroit, a hero with a newfound appreciation for the world beyond his gritty hometown. However, the closing scene leaves the door open for future adventures, hinting at the possibility of Axel returning to the land of sunshine, luxury cars, and high-stakes crime. Beverly Hills Cop II. 5 years after his explosive investigation in Beverly Hills, Axel Foley returns to the land of sunshine and luxury for Captain Andrew Bogomil's retirement party. However, the celebration is cut short when a heavily armed gang launches a brutal attack on the precinct, leaving Captain Bogomil critically injured. The investigation leads Axel to reunite with his former Beverly Hills colleagues, Sergeant John Taggart and Detective Billy Rosewood. Together, they delve into the world of international arms dealing, putting them in the crosshairs of both the ruthless arms manufacturer Maxwell Dent and a skeptical FBI determined to keep Axel out of their way. The action sequences escalate in this sequel, featuring thrilling car chases through the bustling streets of Los Angeles, explosive shootouts in luxurious mansions, and a now legendary scene of Axel riding a banana boat through a crowded marketplace. All the while, Axel delivers his signature witty one-liners and outrageous antics, keeping the tone light despite the high stakes. Axel goes undercover as a potential buyer for Dent's weapons, infiltrating his opulent mansion and exposing the operation to the authorities. However, navigating Dent's ruthless organization and avoiding the watchful eye of the FBI proves to be a constant challenge. Through a series of daring stunts and close calls, Axel dismantles Dent's illegal dealings and exposes his ties to a dangerous paramilitary group. Helping Axel on his mission is a reluctant FBI agent, whose initial skepticism towards Axel's unorthodox methods eventually gives way to grudging respect for his tenacity. End results. Even Taggart and Rosewood, initially wary of Axel's return, find themselves drawn into his chaotic but effective approach to tackling the case. As Axel gets closer to the truth, he uncovers a plot by Dent to supply weapons to the paramilitary group, potentially destabilizing the region. The climax of the film features a thrilling showdown at Dent's heavily guarded compound. Axel, with the help of his reluctant allies, infiltrates the facility and disrupts the arms deal, leading to a final confrontation with Dent himself. With Dent apprehended and his illegal operation exposed, Captain Bogomil receives the recognition he deserves for his years of service. The film concludes with Axel and his Beverly Hills colleagues celebrating their victory, further solidifying their unlikely bond forged through shared danger and mutual respect. Although Axel returns to Detroit, the ending leaves the possibility open for future adventures in the world of luxury cars, high-stakes crime, and perhaps even more outrageous situations for the street-smart detective from Detroit. Beverly Hills Cop III. Axel Foley is planning to raid a small chop shop in Detroit one night in order to apprehend a gang of auto thieves. Inspector G. Douglas Todd, Axel's supervisor, has no idea that he has canceled the SWAT squad and plans to attack the store with just his own team. The carjackers had taken a cube van, but a gang of guys had shown up to the chop shop to get it back. Once the gang commander verifies that the automobile still has its cargo, a collection of crates marked as U.S. government property, he orders his men to kill the car thieves. Axel, who has no idea what's going on inside, carries out his plan to enter the shop just as the killers are leaving. But he and his squad are swiftly outnumbered. The leader of the group fatally shoots Todd when he arrives minutes thereafter. Secret Service agent Steve Fulbright stops an enraged Foley from pursuing the fugitives in the cube van as he drives one of the partially dismantled automobiles from the repair shop. The killer must stay at large, Fulbright tells Axel, since the federal government is after him as part of a bigger conspiracy. Some of the murderer's clues lead Axel to Wonder World, an amusement park in Beverly Hills, California, owned by Uncle Dave Thornton, which he discovers after Todd's burial. On his way to Beverly Hills, Axel sees Judge Reinhold's Billy Rosewood, who is now the Deputy Director of Operations for Joint Systems Interdepartmental Operational Command, and he also meets John Flint, who is now working with Billy, played by Hector Elizondo. John Taggart resides in Phoenix, Arizona, and is currently retired, it has been disclosed. Before Axel arrives at Wonder World to do his investigation, he has Flint contact his buddy Ellis DeWald, who is in charge of the park's security. The two become friends as Axel tours the park's backstage areas and meets Janice Perkins. Later on, security officers find him, open fire, and engage in a physical altercation with him. After escaping to the surface, Foley skips the queue to ride the Spider Ferris wheel. Two young children's lives are jeopardized when the guards inadvertently clog the ride. Once Axel saves their lives, they bring him to see John Saxon's Orrin Sanderson, the park manager. Axel knows DeWald is Todd's killer the second he's brought in to refute the assertion that security guards assaulted him without warning. Nevertheless, Rosewood and Flint don't buy into the accusation since DeWald is so good at maintaining his public image. Later on, meanwhile, Axel receives a visit from Uncle Dave and Janice, who tell him that Roger Fry, the creator of the Wonder World Park and a close friend of Dave's, vanished without a trace 2 weeks earlier while inspecting the grounds, leaving behind just a strange note in his letter. Despite Agent Fulbright's repeated admonishments, he attempts to shame DeWald into disclosing his criminal connections. Nevertheless, DeWald is too nimble to be caught off guard. Upon further investigation into a restricted area of the park, Axel learns that Wonder World is a cover for a counterfeiting operation led by DeWald and Sanderson. DeWald had previously visited a chop shop in Detroit to procure blank printing paper utilized for U.S. money. Axel finds out that Fry's warning letter is really written on a sheet of the stolen mint paper when he meets with Uncle Dave to question him about more specifics in order to obtain a piece of viable proof. Uncle Dave is shot by DeWald before he can utilize the proof, and Axel is framed for the shooting. Axel escapes from DeWald and takes Uncle Dave to the nearest hospital. Then, he gathers Rosewood and Flint to help him storm the park and establish his innocence. In the gun battle that ensues, DeWald's goons meet their end, and Axel ends DeWald's life with a shot to the head. After what seems like an explanation from Agent Fulbright about how he was mistaken, Axel discovers his true connection to the counterfeiter and, after a short battle, shoots him. Uncle Dave gets well completely, and as a token of his gratitude for Axel's help, he has a new character named Axel Fox made for Wonder World. Thank you once again for being a part of Flick Flash. Until next time, keep watching, keep exploring, and keep that movie and TV magic alive. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and stay tuned for more exciting recaps. This is Flick Flash, signing off.